transmission, which was our first topic, in which we have studied the inter-symbol interference. Then we have gone through the Nyquist criteria for zero ISI. We have derived the frequency domain criteria for zero ISI and time domain criteria for zero ISI. So today we are going to discuss about the ideal solution. That is ideal solution to this ISI, that is inter-symbol interference. So here, from Nyquist criteria, it is clear that the spectrum of expected signal, that is P of F, spectrum will be a rectangular, that is spectrum will be a rect function, a rectangular function to have zero ISI. That is Nyquist criteria satisfied the frequency spectrum will be a rectangular function to have the zero ISI, and this will take of the form. Yeah, this is the frequency spectrum. This will be a rectangular function for zero ISI. So our P of F is nothing but a rectangular function. That is, TB is nothing but 1 by FB into rectangular of this rect function rect of F by FB. So, we zero ISI case PF is rectangular function and PF is given by 1 by FB, that is TB is 1 by FB into rectangle F by FB. So, the time domain, converting into time domain, P of T nothing but inverse of this, that is inverse Fourier transform of this P of F. So P of T is nothing but inverse Fourier transform of this 1 by Fp rect of F by Fp. So taking the inverse function for this rect, it will become sinc function. So P of T is nothing but it will be a sinc function, sinc of FB of T. So P of T is our spectrum in time domain spectrum. P of F is frequency domain spectrum. So P of F is a rectangular function. P of T is nothing but inverse of this rectangular function, which is nothing but sinc function. So substituting for FB, FB is nothing but 2B0, where B0 is the bandwidth. B0 is nothing but bandwidth of the pulse. Transmit a pulse in there. One pitch, one pulse transmit. So bandwidth in B0 is nothing but bandwidth of a pulse. So P of T is nothing but sinc of 2B0. So B0 is the bandwidth of the pulse, and this B0 is called as Nyquist bandwidth. This B0 is called as Nyquist bandwidth, and it is the minimum transmission bandwidth. This B0 is nothing but called Nyquist bandwidth, and it's the minimum transmission bandwidth for zero ISI. The ideal case transmission case. The ideal case transmission with the zero ISI. So for zero ISI, the frequency spectrum will be a rectangular function, and while converting into time domain, we will take inverse Fourier transform of the rect function, which will be a sinc function, and substituting for this FB, FP is nothing but 2 times the bandwidth B0, and B0 is known as the Nyquist bandwidth, and it is also known as the minimum transmission bandwidth for zero ISI. From here we can understand that once impulse is transmitted for 1 bit, and ISI will be 0 if you transmit at T equal to 0 to TB, 3 TB, etc. Rather, 1 pulse is transmitted, thus 1 pulse is transmitted for 1 bit, and ISI will be 0 if you transmit at T equal to 0, 2 TB and 3 TB. and B0 is nothing but here from we know that B0 is to FB is equal to 2B0, so B0 is nothing but FB by 2, which is nothing but FB can be written as 1 by TB, so 1 by 2 TB, but TB is the big period. Board clear ആവുന്നുണ്ടോ? ബോർഡ് ക്ലിയർ ആണ്?
ക്ലിയർ ആണ് മിസ്സേ.
So B0 is nothing but 1 by 2 TB. ഈ TB എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it's the bit period. ഈ 1 by TB എന്ന് പറയുന്നതാണ് bit rate എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. It is represented by RB, and so ഈ bandwidth അല്ലെങ്കിൽ Nyquist bandwidth B0 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it's nothing but this 1 by TB എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് bit rate ആണ്. So bit rate by 2. ഇതാണ് ഐഡിയൽ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ടു ISI വരുന്നത്. സോ നമുക്ക് ഇതിന്റെ ഈ ഒരു ഇക്വേഷൻ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാകുന്നത് Nyquist bandwidth എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ bit rate by 2 എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഇക്വേഷൻ ആണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റിലേഷൻ ആണ് നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു ഐഡിയൽ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ടു ISI എന്ന് കിട്ടുന്നത്. സോ ഐഡിയൽ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ടു ISI സമ്മറൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ഈ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി സ്പെക്ട്രം P of F എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it will be a rectangular function for 0 ISI, and if you are taking the time domain spectrum, we can get the time domain spectrum by taking inverse Fourier transform of this P of F. So it will be a sinc function, and from that for FB we substitute 2 times B0. B0 is nothing but bandwidth, Nyquist bandwidth of the pulse, and B0 is also the minimum transmission bandwidth for 0 ISI, and we have also the function from here we can get the relation B0 is nothing but FB by 2. FB, we know that FB is equal to 1 by TB, so substituting for that we'll get B0 is 1 by 2 TB. 1 by TB is nothing but bit rate ആണ്. So 1 by TB bit rate ആകുമ്പോൾ Nyquist bandwidth is nothing but bit rate by 2. So time domain representation P of T നമുക്ക് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ for 0 ISI case it will be sinc function. So 0 TB, 2 TB, 3 TB, etc. minus TB, minus 2 TB, etc. So it will be a 0 function or a sinc function. This is the time domain representation of the pulse P of T. So now we will go to the next topic, which is raised cosine spectrum. In this raised cosine spectrum, the frequency response P of F, which we have discussed, decreases towards 0 gradually. That is this P of the, that is in this raised cosine, there is no abrupt transition. That is, here we have rectangular function for this P of F. In ideal case, there is an abrupt transition of this pulse. That is, at a point it is decaying to 0 or 0 value. So, in raised cosine spectrum, the frequency response decreases towards 0, that is 0 value, gradually. This is the ideal case of P of f. Now, going on to the raised to cosine spectrum, we will understand the raised to cosine function. In ideal case, there is an abrupt transition. In raised to cosine, there won't be an abrupt transition, and it is given by P of f is equal to 1 by 2 b0. So, if frequency f is between minus f1 and f1 and 1 by 4 b0, if the frequency is between cos 1 plus cos pi into mod f minus f1 by 2 b0 minus 2 f1 if this f1 less than mod f less than 2 b0 minus f1 and 0 elsewhere. So those are the three conditions. If frequency is between f1 minus f1 and f1, P of f is 1 by 2 b0, and frequency is between if mod f is between f1 and 2 b0 minus f1, then P of f will be 1 by 4 b0 into 1 plus cos pi mod f minus f1 by 2 b0 minus 2 f1 and 0 elsewhere. Here the middle term, this is the middle term. Here the middle term represents the gradual roll off. This represents the gradual roll off factor from f1 to, from this f1 to 2b0 minus f1 ulla gradual roll off factor ആണ് ഈ middle term പറയുന്നത്. And the roll off factor alpha is given by 1 minus f1 by b0 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതാണ് the roll off factor alpha. So before going, ഇത് ഒരു raised cosine spectrത്തിന്റെ കേസാണ്. Raised cosine spectrത്തിന്റെ കേസ് പറയുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ, from the ideal case we know that P of f spectrum വെച്ചാൽ there is an abrupt transition to 0. പക്ഷേ raised cosine spectrത്തിന്റെ അകത്ത് there won't be abrupt transition, and the transition will be like this. Gradual decrease ആണ് towards there's a gradual decrease towards 0, gradually decreasing. There won't be any abrupt transition. Abrupt transition is in the case of ideal case. Raised cosine spectrum there's a gradual decrease towards 0, and P of f can take these three values depending upon the frequency range, and it can take if f is between minus f1 and f1, which is 2b0, and if mod f is between f1 and 2b0 minus f1, this can take 1 by 4 b0 and this term. And this term is also known as gradual roll-off factor, and the roll-off factor alpha is given by 1 minus f1 by b0. This value you should remember because it is taken for while doing problems. This alpha value we have to calculate. So alpha value is the roll-off factor. Alpha is nothing but roll-off factor, and it is given by 1 minus f1 by b0 and 0 in the case of elsewhere. So, before going to explain raised cosine spectrum, Nyquist has suggested a criteria for P of t, that is Nyquist criteria for P of t is that it can take value when this t is equal to 0 and 0 and it is sampled at a rate NTB. This is the Nyquist suggested criteria for 0 ISI, and pulse which satisfy this criteria can be represented as a sinc function. We have already studied this pulse which satisfies this condition can be represented as a sinc function, which we have drawn like this right now. So the pulse which satisfies this condition, which is for 0 ISI, can take a sinc function, sinc of YRB t normal. This is for 0 ISI. So after we got the sinc function like this. This was the Nyquist criteria for 0 ESI. So this is a pulse which satisfies the condition can be represented. The pulse which satisfies this condition can be represented as a sinc function. This is clear. And while doing analysis, there were two problems based on this pulse. P of t pulse condition satisfy it can be represented as a sinc function. This sinc function the analysis created two problems. The main two problems were this pulse is hard to realize. The realization was a little bit difficult. That was the first problem. And second problem, this pulse decays slowly at a rate of 1 by P. This pulse decay rate is slow because it's going like this, infinite. So this pulse decays at a slow rate of 1 by Tb. And as T increases, decay also goes like that. So these are the two problems based on the sinc pulse, representation of the sinc pulse. While doing analysis, this pulse is hard to realize and pulse decay at a slow rate of 1 by Tb. So because of the second drawback, that is that depend upon the decay, because of the second drawback created problem like pulse jittering. Jittering means nothing but deviation, pulse deviation, and it also created slight change in RB. RB is nothing but bit rate. That is, P of t pulse and this pulse, these two conditions satisfy it is a criteria for 0 ESI. 0 ESI the criteria is two condition. In time domain condition, ISI equal to 0. If the pulse satisfies this condition, the ISI is 0 and this can be represented as a sinc function. This sinc function, the realization was very hard and the pulse decays slowly at a rate of 1 by t. This two problems were faced while dealing with the sinc function, and because of the second problem, it created pulse jittering and slight change in RP. So, in order to solve this problem or to avoid this problem, Nyquist suggested a new family of മനസ്സിലായോ? Okay. So those were the two problems. So നമ്മളിപ്പം നെക്സ്റ്റ് റേസ്ഡ് കോസൈൻ സ്പെക്ട്രം വരാനുള്ള ഒരു കാരണം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഈ സെക്കൻഡ് പ്രോബ്ലം ആയിരുന്നു. ഈ സെക്കൻഡ് പ്രോബ്ലം ഒഴിവാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് Nyquist ഒരു ഫാമിലി ഓഫ് സ്പെക്ട്രം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ റേസ്ഡ് കോസൈൻ സ്പെക്ട്രം Nyquist introduce ചെയ്തു. So these are the two problems. First problem was pulse is hard to realize. Second problem is pulse decay slowly at a rate of 1 by t. And this second problem created pulse jittering in a slight change in bit rate. There was a slight change in bit rate and there was pulse jittering because of this slow decay rate. So, in order to avoid that problem, Nyquist suggested what? A new family of pulses, which is known as raised cosine pulses. And while after introducing this raised cosine pulses, this can have a faster decay rate. The decay rate was very fast compared to the ideal case. അതായത് സെക്കൻഡ് ഡ്രോബാക്ക് ഒഴിവാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി Niku suggested a raised cosine pulses. ഈ raised cosine pulses this can have the main advantage is can have faster decay rate compared to ideal. And the P of f function were given RB cos pi RBT 1 minus 4 pi 4 R square RB into T square into this thing pi RBT. So this is nothing but our sinc function, and this term is the our cosine or a cos part. And this equation is the nothing but the raised cosine pulse equation. And here the R square is nothing but the Roloff factor. Here the bandwidth, consider a spectrum like this. This is the ideal case. And it will be RB by 2. This will be RB anengil. This is our ideal case. There is an abrupt transition to 0. Here we can say this is our raised cosine spectrum. Here there is a gradual transition to 0. Here total bandwidth, here we can find the total. Here we can find the total bandwidth. Let it be this bandwidth be fx and up. So the total bandwidth dt is nothing but RB2 by fx. That is RB2 by this fx is the total bandwidth of the spectrum. So we know that Roloff factor R nothing but this fx. This is the Roloff factor fx by this RB by 2. Fx by RB by 2 on the Roloff factor R. So fx we can get write like this. It's nothing but R into this RB by 2. So substituting this fx here, we get the total bandwidth dt is nothing but RB by 2 plus RB by 2. So taking RB by 2 outside, RB by 2 into 1 plus R. This is the total bandwidth requirement for this spectrum. Total bandwidth requirement for the spectrum. So we know the equation for this P of t. P of t is nothing but RB by cos pi RB by t into 1 minus 4 R square RB t square into the sinc of pi RB t. This is our cosine spectrum or raised to cosine spectrum or the modified pulse equation. And we know in the ideal case our cosine sinc function will be like this. Raised cosine term in the case when this RB value equal to 0, when this R value equal to 0 on the case, the amplitude will be same as RB, and when the total here this when the value is less than 1 means RB into a value which is less by substituting for this RB. Then this value, value, only cos value with another when it is less than 1 means RB into a value which is less than 1 will create a smaller value which is less than 1. Roll of factor correlated RB no value here value we calculate less than 1 on RB into a small value means smaller than a value which is less than 1. So outcome is a smaller value which is less than 1 in the case of value which is less than 1. So when we move from as the time increases, that is when we move from T to TB, or when we move from 0 to TB and T to 2 TB, 2 TB to 3 TB, etc. This amplitude of the new pulse, which is a modified pulse, will be smaller. As this increases, as T is on the sambhavam increasing the samayathu, this amplitude of the pulse gets smaller and smaller. This will be our first function. Next is roll of factor. It will be smaller. So we can know that here that's a raised cosine. The pulse is raised side. This shows the raise. So he raised cosine spectrum will decay gradually. That is finite paternally decay. The abrupt transition there won't be an abrupt transition. Decay gradually to 0. Compared to sync pulse, which have infinite and the gradual will decay down towards 0. That is, as this T square increases, or T square increases in the samayathe, within the raised in the amplitude corner. That is, there will be in negative pulse sync function that there will be we can see there is a raised cosine component or raised cosine spectrum. That is, in the case here, this is a side law. So side law value is continuously decreasing as we move from this. Here we have seen that RB by 2, RB as we move from RB by 2 to RB, the side log is continuously decreasing. This side log, this is the side log for this function. RB by 2 RB T increase this side log decrease gradually 0. So by introduction of this raised cosine spectrum, this main log, this is the main log and this is the side log. The main log is getting narrow and narrow as the amplitude decreases. Sorry, here this is the main log. As T square increases and as we move from RB by 2 to RB, this main log gets narrowed down, and this side log, what it is doing is it is decreasing continuously. The side log is and main log narrow and narrow. So the second problem, while analyzing the sync function, was avoided by using the raised cosine spectrum. Here raised cosine spectrum in that time domain pulse for this raised cosine spectrum P of t can also be written like this: sync of in terms of Nyquist bandwidth B0t into cos by alpha, which is the roll-off factor, into B0 t, which is 1 minus 16 alpha square, B0 square, and t square. This is the time domain pulse for raised cosine spectrum. Or a raised cosine spectrum in a time domain equation in terms of Nyquist bandwidth. So, this is the ideal case when the roll-off factor is 0, and this is alpha equal to 1 by 2. And this is 1. Alpha equal to when roll-off factor is 1. If they in a gradual decrease in the side lobes corner. When alpha equal to 0, there is no abrupt transition. There is abrupt transition under when alpha equal to 0, abrupt transition to 0, and because the ideal case and the time domain pulse is the product of two functions. The time domain function it's a product of two functions. The first is a sync pulse, which is synced to B0 t. The second factor decreases as this t square, 1 by t square factor, the second factor decreases. While the p of t is a product of two terms. First function is the sync function, second is the raised cosine function. So, the second function decreases as 1 by t square. 1 by t square, the t increases, this decreases. And the sync function make p of t. The sync function can make p of t 0 at t equal to 0, 2tb, 3tb, etc. Now, sync function sync function is 0. The sync function is 0 at tb, 0 tb, 2tb, 3tb sync function 0. Because of the second factor, this is the second factor, abrupt transition in the frequency domain are avoided. By introducing the raised cosine spectrum, the abrupt transition to 0 was avoided in this. And bandwidth requirement can be calculated as bandwidth is equal to 2b0 minus f1 and we have roll-off factor alpha is equal to 1 minus f1 by b0 So f1 is nothing but b0 in minus b0 alpha. So the bandwidth equation for raised cosine spectrum is bandwidth b is equal to b0 into 1 plus alpha, which is our bandwidth requirement for raised cosine spectrum. Hope raised cosine spectrum is clear. This is the sync pulse. The p of t is nothing but the product of sync pulse and the cosine pulse, and the sync pulse is given by sync to p0 of t and to 0 at tb, 2tb, 3tb, etc. And this is the cosine pulse, and cosine pulse decreases as 1 by t square. And there is in this, by introduction of this raised cosine spectrum, there is no abrupt transition. The abrupt transition undavula, as in the case of ideal case, there is a gradual transition to 0. And this is the bandwidth requirement for cosine spectrum. Bandwidth b is nothing but b0 into 1 plus alpha. And b is nothing but 2b0 minus f1 and alpha is equal to 1 minus f1 by b0 So b0 substitute b0 minus b0 into alpha and next, we can discuss a problem. The output of a digital computer is at a rate of a digital computer the output at a rate of 64 kilobps. That is the data rate. So, this is the FD, data rate. And if the roll-off factor is alpha equal to 1, alpha equal to 0.5, alpha equal to 0.25 and alpha equal to 0. Find the bandwidth requirement. The question is to find the bandwidth required to transmit data in this each case. അതായത് ഓരോ കേസിലും എത്ര ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് വേണം ഈ ഒരു ഡാറ്റ ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളതാണ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. ഒരു ഡിജിറ്റൽ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന്റെ ഡാറ്റ റേറ്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 64 കിലോ ബിറ്റ്സ് പെർ സെക്കൻഡ് ആണ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് നത്തിങ് ബട്ട് അവർ FB വിച്ച് ഇസ് ദ ഡാറ്റ റേറ്റ്. ഇതാണ് നമുക്ക് തന്നിട്ടുള്ള റോൾ ഓഫ് ഫാക്ടർ. ഈ 4 കേസിലെ റോൾ ഓഫ് ഫാക്ടറിൽ എത്ര ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് റിക്വയർമെന്റ് ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനാണ് ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ തന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. സോ bandwidth B0 is nothing but FB by 2 ആണ്. So it is 32 kilo per second. It is a Nyquist bandwidth ആണ്. So നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പം കിട്ടിയ ഇക്വേഷൻ ഇത് ഈ B0 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ Nyquist bandwidth ആണ്. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ പഠിച്ച ഇക്വേഷൻ ആണ്. FB by 2 ആണ്, which is 32 kilo per second ആണ്. So നമ്മുടെ ആക്ച്വൽ bandwidth T raised to cosine പഠിച്ച bandwidth is nothing but 1 plus alpha into this B0. 1 plus alpha into this B0. First, നമുക്ക് ഡാറ്റ റേറ്റ് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഡാറ്റ റേറ്റിന്റെ അകത്തുനിന്ന് നമ്മൾ Nyquist bandwidth കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക. Nyquist bandwidth കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് അറിയുന്ന ഒരു കേസാണ്. B എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 1 plus this ആൽഫന്റെ വാല്യൂ, ഫസ്റ്റ് വാല്യൂ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എത്ര 1 ആണ്. 1 plus 1 ഈ 32 കിലോ ബിറ്റ്സ് പെർ സെക്കൻഡ് 32 into 10 raised to 3, that is 64 kilohertz. Next കേസിൽ ആൽഫക്ക് വാല്യൂ മാറ്റി സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്താൽ മതി. നെക്സ്റ്റ് കേസിൽ ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് 1 plus 0.5 into this 32 kilohertz per second. Next case B equal to 1 plus 0. Last case 0 1 plus 2.5 into the same. Last case 1 plus 0 into 32 into 10 raised to 3. So first നമുക്ക് ഡിജിറ്റൽ ഡാറ്റ റേറ്റ് 64 കിലോ ബിറ്റ്സ് പെർ സെക്കൻഡ് ആണ് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. റോൾ ഓഫ് ഫാക്ടർ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് ഫൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് റിക്വയർഡ് ടു ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റ് ഡാറ്റ ഇൻ ഈച്ച് കേസ് ആണ്. സോ Nyquist ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് ആദ്യം കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക, പിന്നെ ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം.